Hi there, I'm Construction Gamer and this is the Midlands to London on Transport Fever 2. In today's episode we're going to be finishing most of the East Coast Main Line as far north as Stevenage, as Stevenage is the last most northern town, or is it a city, town or city, on the East Coast branch of the map anyway, so we can finish that off. I do want to get in the other little Hertford loop on there eventually, which goes from Stevenage down towards, where does it go to? Down towards London anyway, and then there's a junction there which needs constructing, but first of all we need to get Stevenage actually constructed. In the last episode we built Basingstoke station, which we're just pulling into now on this 150 first northwest, no, was it not first Great Western class 150. I just put one of these backwards and forwards between Reading and Basingstoke for now. Obviously we will have Southwest Railway services, or what they were actually called, Southwest Train services, will be in this period, and we will have the cross-country service as well calling at Basingstoke, but for now we've got that up and running, so that's all done. Let's just bring up the UI. So yeah, we've got Basingstoke, we've got the track going to Reading, and obviously we've got to get the track off towards London Waterloo, or what will be sort of, it'll be called London Waterloo, but it won't look anything like it, because if we look down here there's no space or London Waterloo, so yeah, it is London Waterloo, isn't it? Yeah, but if we head up to, so we've built Welwyn Garden City, we've got Stevenage, and then you can see the East Coast Main Line on this map anyway, because it is, remember, skewed on an angle, skewed on an angle. Then East Coast Main Line would run up sort of that sort of direction. So that's it. Stevenage is the last northern stop. Just before I start construction, I just want to name some trains after some people. So we've got, these are patron supporters who kindly support the channel over on Patreon. So we've got Adam, Alex, Any Warrior, Pika, we've got Transport Fever World, and Grazzy T, all supporting the channel. So you've got your trains named after you, and now every single one of the Birmingham, New Street to Euston Avanti services is a named train now, so that's nice. Which obviously are the, what are they at the minute? Class 92, I want to say. No, 91, I don't know. Yeah, that. Class 90 with a DVT. No, what is it? Oh, I should know this thing, shouldn't I? What is it? Details. Class 86, of course it is, with a DVT on the front there with the Mark IIIs. So there we go. There we thank you for supporting me over on Patreon. It is much appreciated. Right, heading up to Stevenage now. I think I'm just going to take a quick look. I think it might be a case of deleting Stevenage. I think, looking at most of these things, it is mostly a case of deleting them. I even had to do it with Basingstoke, although that was more because I deleted too much of the industry. And if you delete one entire sector, so if you delete all the residential or all of the industry or all of the commercial, the town just does not grow at all. So I had to delete Basingstoke and then put it back in again. So we want some track, we want some high speed with catenary, and then we want some track here. So we need these trains to be gotten out of the way first. What have I got on here? I've got some of these Network Southeast units currently. What are you, 321 I want to say? Yeah, just trying to research some of the services. The Wikipedia page, which is normally really super helpful, hasn't actually been that helpful for Thameslink, because it all starts to get a little bit murky, a little bit messy when you're researching Thameslink services, because it all just got chopped and changed a lot. So I will have to look. As far as I can tell, obviously we've got the London North Eastern Wall. What would they have been at this time? GNER? No, what are the trains currently? Should be able to see. Yeah, the GNER in about 2000 still, before, I think it was just coming up to the end of GNER at that period. Yeah, so we've got a GNER service stopping there. It might be something else. If it is, just let me know. And we've got Thameslink services, and we've got the Great Northern. Again, I think that later on becomes a Thameslink service over the Hertford Loop, which obviously is going to bypass Welwyn Garden City, and it's going to interact with the East Coast Main Line around here, I think, once I've built the junction. And then I need another junction to take the services kind of across to the east of London to Moorgate eventually. Although, yeah, I think we'll get Moorgate in potentially. So yeah, I want to build those services. And let's just take a look at things. Yeah, that's looking all right. Just want to get roughly orientated. I think I will put the building in first, because I think that's what we need. So we'll just put in, what should we use? NL, I think, maybe for this. Where's NL? It is that one there. Although I do have the UK style passenger station. What's that? Have I used that before? Not sure if I have. Is action... Let's take a look at this. I have subscribed to some things, so let's just see what this looks like. This looks a bit like the King's Cross New, actually, which it is. So we think we will go with the NL, because it's not quite as modern looking as that. No. I don't know why I've just tagged that onto there. Right, 240 metres. So it's going to be about, say about here. Just want to leave enough space for a little bit of track to come off, so I can put in my turnaround facilities for service. So we'll just chuck that in there, so we've got something to aim for. No, definitely not there. Probably more like there. Can I go a little bit further? Let's take a look. Because I guess if I just know, that's definitely road track. Yeah, we've put some track into about. It doesn't have to be particularly long, this, but what I think I might do is I might have a London North Eastern Railway service stopping at Stevenage. I think I might have a service that's going straight through as well, just so we've got some extra train action, just so it's not as quiet, you know, so it's just got some trains on it basically. So buildings we're going to have on here, we're going to have a fake station, which wants to be 240, isn't it? And then if we have number of tracks 2, what I'll do is, I know it's not that much, but what I'll do is I'll just have a diamond crossing in there, and then I'll just have the 4 tracks coming into 2 to about there. Yeah, so that's so far so good. That's the easy bit. Next bit is just getting, well, actually it's quite straightforward, most of this actually. I think if I just bolt that straight into there and then lift that up a little bit, maybe a little bit more, and then just get rid of this track, and then we'll just have a nice slope up there rather than having like a roller coaster situation. Then that looks alright. So I want to put the 4 tracks in first anyway, and I want it to be up a little bit raised because we do need to get a bridge underneath for the Hertford loop, as we have an autosave. Yeah, so we'll get these 4 tracks, just get them in a rough position first, and then just have a think about where we're going to put this junction. So I reckon actually here looks like a good spot for the junction. If I press shift, can I get rid of a smaller segment? No, I don't think I can. I think it needs to be a bit further back actually, maybe more like here. A little bit further away from the station given the scale, but we do have to get in a few junctions and things. So, well no, actually there aren't many switches, are there? So let's just, yeah, let's have a look. No, I think it needs just to be, let's connect these back up again before we delete another segment. Maybe just about here, perhaps. That should be enough, I think. And then we just want a piece of track coming in, so I'll start off with a straight piece of track on a bit of an angle. Something a bit like that, and then we'll just have curve in as it curves towards the East Coast main line. And then I think I'll just build a bit more track. Yeah, I was just having a quick look, as I always do for the research, and there doesn't appear to be many switches or crossings on the East Coast main line at this particular junction point, but there's just not a lot going on really. I did have to go to Google Maps actually to look for a switch, because I thought there'd have to be a switch somewhere, but I'll explain a little bit about that in a second. I just want to get this piece of track right. So we zoom in, pressing shift to get a nice fast turnout, and then just raise that up a little bit so we're not glitching. Let's just double check that, that's fine. It's nice and, well, reasonable speed, 60, I think I'll take that. And then this wants to kind of head off over here. It's not really going to serve anywhere, I don't think, because there's nowhere for it to serve, but I think I would like to build it anyway. So something a bit like that. It might one day put a town in, or maybe a bus from Welwyn Garden, between Shenfield and Welwyn Garden City, and like a station here or something. But yeah, that's for now, yeah. So the the Great Northern Services, or whatever they were at this time period, I would have to turn back somewhere, but I couldn't find anywhere on the actual East Coast main line, no switches which would provide turn back facilities. All there are 2 sets of switches, which are just basically to get services from the up and down fasts onto the up down slows, I'm guessing they are. Something a bit like that. I think Yeah, the East Coast main line's a little bit different to the West Coast main line, isn't it? As in, the up-downs are a little bit different, so the up-downs are like that. So they're the downs, and then you've got the ups paired together like that, where I don't think they're like that in the West Coast main line for most of it. Right, so get rid of that. So yeah, these are just, basically you got your bypass, although no, you don't really have bypass tracks, but never mind. We'll sort that out in a minute. But yeah, so basically, before Platform 5 was built, which I found out was only opened in 2020, trains would obviously have to turn back on one of the platforms, but I couldn't see any means of doing that on the East Coast main line anyway. Not to get onto the Hertford Loop, but there is a little tiny switch here, so I'm guessing, don't know if I'm 100% right on this, that trains will come in on this, well I'd have to actually anyway, so yeah, this track will have to be bi-directional, I'm thinking. It does have a switch onto the East Coast main line. Have I built that switch? I don't think I have. So we'll build that switch. Actually, no, we won't build it like that. We'll build it a bit like this now. This fifth track which I'm putting in, I don't think it was built in this period. I think it was actually built in conjunction with the new platform at Stevenage, the new bay platform or turnback platform. But I will just build it in anyway, just because it's just easier that way. And then there is a switch from the East Coast main line onto the loop, like so. So I think before Platform 5 was built, I'm pretty sure trains would have to have come down here and then turn back and then come back down using this track as like a bi-directional track, although I have put it as a down fast, haven't I, or a down slow. So yeah, that's the only way I can see that working. Right, next thing is the station itself. So we want a NL. High speed catenary, yes, and I think I will just, where's the track? What's it colliding? It was colliding with that bit of track there. Let's get rid of that track there for now. So wants to be about there. Configure this. We want some track. So we've got, what have we got going on? We've got 2 down the middle, which will be your fast lines, I'm assuming, and then you've got your, nope, don't want those, one platform first. Platform NL. We always have a platform face for each track. I know it makes the station a lot wider, but it just gives you that platform capacity that is needed sometimes. And then you've got your tracks here, which obviously will be electrified down there. And then we've got another little bit which comes off to about there. It goes over a little bit more, but obviously we're running out of space a little bit, and it just kind of protrudes a little bit, something like that. Obviously this platform doesn't exist in this time period, not in 2000, but I will put it in anyway. I think all I'll do is I just won't use it yet until basically we reach 2020 maybe. But I just like to get the infrastructure constructed and built ahead of anything, just because obviously coming back and changing things later on is just, you know, it's a real pain to come back sometimes and change things. So right, configure this. We're going to go to MISC for now. Ooh, do these? No, these don't work with NLs, do they? That's would have been nice to have used this, because it does have this sort of roof, like concourse, but it just doesn't. It's not compatible. So we'll just have to go with some basic stairs, I think. And then we need another platform on this side as well. There's no platform, but we do need it. Actually, I think what I'll do is invisible platform. I know it's still, the game still thinks it's a platform, and sometimes it does try and path train, it does try and use that as a platform, but I think it just looks a little bit better if there's a little bit of separation, and then we can come in with these steps around here, just for our basic passenger access, basically. Next thing is we need some steps, don't we? So, or do we? Let's have a look. No, I think we'll have actually a little passenger building. There's not much of a building on here actually, so I think we'll just have a little one of these. No, that's big. I said little. Positioned approximately in the centre of the building with large doors. Yes, maybe something a bit like that with a little building. And then if I just put in a road in, I just want to double check. It's yeah, that's the one with the passenger door. So that's fine. I think we'll just go with some steps as well. And then we will just go MISC. We'll have a canopy on that section. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the station. It's not much going on really. And I think I've built that in the wrong place as well. I have. Great. Right, let's try that again. Platforms, invisible. It wants to be here. And then get rid of that, and then get rid of these stairs. Yeah, so the stairs were pointing in the right direction. Something, what's happened here? Don't know why those platforms are like that. I think I put the wrong platforms in. Don't know how I managed that. Right, let's get rid of these bits of platform. Platform, NL. Unless I'd plop something down which turned them into that. Other, right, track. Replace that track that I've got rid of, and then back to MISC, put these steps in. I always just like to put 2 sets of steps in just to give it a little bit of balance. And then just that bit of step in there, and then we will have, I think there's some shelters towards the end. I think we'll have some benches around here, and then we want the roof, which is that one there, and we'll just chuck the roof on there. Not a particular big roof on this, I don't think, just a little bit of a roof going on. Passenger building. I think on this side there is access to this side of the station as well, so I'll put some steps in, and then we just want to return back to the building that we were putting on previously. What's something like, take a look at these, see what they look like. They're all pretty much similar, although do they all have passenger access? Let's take a look. You do have to exit. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be like any road going, like any passenger connection from there to there, so I'm just going to put one of these ones with that one. Yeah, I think that'll do the job. Let's just take a look if that, yeah, you got the passenger connections through the building there, whereas these ones don't. And then I think configure, I will just put some steps here as well, like so. That should work, I think. Yeah, does it want a bit more canopy? No, it doesn't. I think that's enough canopy with the little shelters and the benches. Yeah, that's all fine. Let's get this all hooked up now. So we're going to delete these 2 little bits here, and hopefully that'll line up. No, it's not lining up at all, so we'll have to redo it. Yeah, we're a nice straight alignment through there, and obviously just bring these close-ish, and then obviously they're going to have to bend in. Yeah, that's the only problem with doing 2 platform, like a platform face for each section of track, is it does make the platforms really wide. But I think 40, yeah, I think 40 will do, because the train will be slowing down anyway. If it's going on these tracks, it will be calling at the station, so it doesn't matter too much. Yeah, something a bit like that, and then obviously we want to repeat that coming out the back. So just get these tracks. These will be the straight through tracks, and then we've got 4. Oh no, we'll do it this way around again. So make sure we've got, oh, that's a bit faster this time. That'll do. Get these 4 tracks lined up, and then we want sets of switches coming off again, just to allow trains to get off the up down fasts onto the slows for the call at the station, which is all looking fine. Right, so we've got a bit of a dual carriageway thing going on. Actually, I just wanted to get a bridge in. Yeah, I think, can I just get rid of some segments here? So we'll have a bridge just about there. It is a little bit further away than I'd otherwise want it to be. Street. What do we want to use? We want to use big dual carriageway, I think it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be deep enough. We're definitely underwater at that stage. Go to bridge, something a bit like that. All fine and dandy. Nope, that's, oh yeah, that one there, and then that there. And then we'll have, yeah, it's all a little bit strange looking, Stevenage. It looks like the station's in the middle of just like a retail park almost. So I think we'll just have, yeah, we'll have the road coming past, but I think I'll just have a little bit of a little street as well coming off. Maybe if I just put a little bit of a loop in, maybe just for buses. And then if we go to the car park, no, that one, will that work? Yeah. Let me just chuck a little bit of a car park. Yeah, that's what, for the most part, Stevenage just looks like. The station itself is just surrounded by retail park and a massive car park. And then again, on actually this side, we need a little bit of street first of all, because I'm not sure. No, we'll just have the street. And then 2 bits of road either side, something a bit like that. And then we'll just have one great, like an enormous car park, which is like, there's a retail park thing going on there. like so. A bit more streets. Can I get rid of... well, I can get rid of those 2 bits actually, and then just put a bit of street alongside there, and then get that car park. Can I just connect you up to there? I can. Maybe this end as well. Yeah, it's a pity there's no like park and ride for feature on Transport Fever 2. That would be awesome if like people parked in here and then got the train. That would just be amazing. Don't know how easy that is to achieve, but that would be cool. Let's just flatten some of this off and then just paint this. This is all just asphalt and concrete around here, and McDonald's. Same on this side really. It's a lot of concrete and asphalt going on, so we'll just paint that over. And then we just want some ballast on that bit there. Actually, I just want to flatten this off. Flatten all of this off here. Bring the terrain up. Obviously, we need to build that bridge as well. So let's just flatten this off first. I'm not going to flatten that off, obviously, because we'll start to generate water. But we'll flatten all of this off. Like so. I think before we build that bridge, we will build a town. We'll just plonk it. I think looking at it, most of Stevenage is probably this side, and this side's looking a little bit more industrial in nature. Yeah, that's... I don't want that road connection. That's ugly. That's not acceptable at all. Right. The only problem is, can I... ooh, it's connected to that. Yeah, it does use the car parks as roads, which is a little bit weird as well. If I just build this... can I get up to there? Possibly. Let's take a look. Get rid of a little bit more. Can I get up to there? No, too much slope. It's a little bit of an ask, that, isn't it? Right, if we get rid of that's risky as well. 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6. Just want it right up to the bridge there, and then can I just run up? Too much slope still. Right, when can you reach the surface? About there. So I guess what we'll have to have is a couple of corners maybe. Do have a bit of a roundabout, but I'm not going to be building. Yeah, well, why not? Street construction. That's why not, because you can't put them on. Right, let's do this. Bit of paint. Paint a circle. Get rid of the road. And then put in our roundabout. So we'll have 2 lanes. I think that's wide enough. We'll have to exaggerate this corner a lot just to come into the station. And then if we come down here, that's actually worked. And then we'll just have this road. It's not, don't know if it's going to go off anywhere. Where could it go? Let's take a look. Nowhere. But we'll have it anyway. And then we'll bring this up to about there. Where do you go? You go off to another roundabout, but we'll just chuck it in there. No, we don't need to be doing any of that. And then we'll just get this side connected up like so. A little bit of road. Nope, definitely road. I want a corner. And then just straight into there. I might come back and do something myself later on with buildings and things like that, just to make it look a little bit better. I think this car park, I don't like the way it's just like a circle, so I will just have that end on there, and maybe just like a little bit of a road. Maybe try and encourage some development around here. Although having said that, most of this area is just car park. So we're using the big... I do like this car park mod actually, it's really good. Just, you know, adds a little bit of extra realism to areas. Pretty much the entire section of that is just car park. So I think we'll just have to have rounded end and then just lots and lots of asphalt concrete going on for the most part. Well, I haven't said that, not that part. We'll have some trees, I think, and stuff going on there. So that's all asphalty, just painted. Similarly with this side as well, I think for the most part it is just like lots and lots of asphalt, car parks, roads, just fill in all of this. Like so. You're not Newport, or you're Stevenage, and obviously you need to make sure this is correct as well. What's broken? Oh yeah, only train. Rail services are broken, not to worry, we can soon fix that. So let's get this bridge built. Collision. Okie dokie, what should we do here? Should we just adjust the terrain maybe until we get water? Yeah, that's fine. We can ignore that for a minute. Bridge, girder bridge, grey girder bridge. No, okie dokie. Let's make that a little bit smaller, and then use the flatten tool. Try and find the lowest point which isn't in water, something like that, and then see if that generates a bridge. Collision. Just why is that? Is really. It's not liking that at all. It is Let's bring that back up. Bring these edges round. That should be fine. It's acting really strangely. Okie dokie. If we let's go at this at a different angle then. So flatten all this off. Get this track back to there. See if we can just put in our corner. So bring that down. You see that looks to me as if it should be low enough for a bridge, definitely. Which it is now. Good. Right. Go to bridge. Although, having said that, no, need to get rid of this. We need a span that crosses that. Okay, dokie, we need to do that little trick. So what I normally do in situations like this where we've got track at an angle, we need to put in some extra little bits of track just to force a bridge basically. So if we put in this here, just makes this bridge a little bit wider, or a little bit longer span rather, not wider. And then obviously when we come to do that bit, it'll be colliding with these two bits of track, but not to worry, we can just get rid of those. So it's just a way of forcing the span to be a little bit longer, and that all looks fine. If I just come to the assets, use these 4 track wide, no pipe position, 4 track wide, and no walls front. Yeah, that's not, just making sure that's not colliding with the track or interfering with it, which it isn't. So yeah, that works. Happy with that. Good. I'll fix that later on. And then I think I'll just get rid of a little bit more track. Hopefully we can just swing this up to there, which we can. That's all fine. Good. Next thing is we want our tracks to, so what we need here is a diamond crossing 40. Yeah, we'll take that. Just don't really have to spend much time on this. Obviously it's not something we're going to be looking at, it's just somewhere for the trains to call, because I just prefer, if my train station, railway station is a through station in real life, although it is the kind of the end of the line on the map, I prefer my trains to go through the station if they do in real life, because it just looks a little bit more accurate and realistic, doesn't it? So what we need here is our services, so the LLNR would be something else. I know it says EDB, is that Edinburgh possibly? Yeah, might be actually. Managed line, you're going to go King's Cross to Stevenage, and then from Stevenage you're going to go to that one there, and then back again. That should all be fairly straightforward. Have I got it calling at anywhere? Luton? No, that doesn't exist anymore. Right, so what station's this? This is Luton, that's why. What should we call this? We'll call it Edinburgh. Yeah, we'll call it Edinburgh, just so the train actually is going to where it would eventually be going to. But it's not liking something, so we've got King's Cross, Stevenage, Edinburgh, and Stevenage again. Why are you going up? It's not liking something. I don't know what it's not liking. That should be a relatively straightforward extension. Right, what we'll have to do is we'll have to do this at a signal at a time. Has it changed its platform allocation? Don't think it has. So it's getting to that signal, that's fine. This is what I had to do with the Tilbury to Daventry service. It's just kind of work it up one signal at a time. I don't know why it's not liking that. Right, that signal there. Let's just double check this track is all electrified. Those switch, right, there's a little, I know it wouldn't be using this track anyway, I don't think, but there is a little gap in there, so we'll make sure we fill that. Let's just trace this up from, so if you get managed line again, so it's got to that signal, because what you can do is once you've traced your route is actually, no, you want to be going through, right, King's Cross. Yeah, once you've traced all your signals out, you can actually get it and just kind of delete all of these. You can just, once the game's kind of got an idea of where it's supposed to be going, you can delete those. So probably the platform allocation's probably not helping, is it? So terminals, you are terminal, you should be on 5, yeah, platform 5. Yeah, platform 5 should all be fine. Right, so let's get some signals. So these are going to be 2 downs, one way, yes, and then they should all be able to cross onto all of those platforms with no issue. So we'll have, I guess we may as well have some signals here as well. Okay, from Stevenage, let's add another signal. Why isn't it happy? That's because there's a little tiny gap in the track. So let's get that onto there, that's fine. Signal, we'll put another signal on here, like so, and that's all working. So now what we should be able to do is just delete these once we've kind of route found our way to where we need to be. So that should all be nice. That's all fine. The service, actually I think just before we wrap up, I think I will just fix the service to this one here, the Thames Link, which is currently using the Network South East trains. So you were going to Stevenage, now you're going to Stevenage and Edinburgh. Yeah, I guess I shouldn't have called that. Maybe call that Peterborough, because that would probably be, well, it wouldn't be the next call, but it would be like the next major station, wouldn't it? So I think we'll call it that instead. And then as we go up, we want to be, I think, on terminal, I think King's Cross, Welwyn Garden City. So you want to be on platform 5. And on the return, Stevenage, Welwyn Garden City, you want to be on platform number 2. Just gets it out of the way of the west of the East Coast service. Well, I haven't said that. They would probably want to be on these tracks. Have I got some signals? I could probably do with putting a few signals. Let's just double check. Yeah, it's definitely down, down, up, up, isn't it? Pretty sure that's the orientation. So I think I'll put some signal. Obviously need some intermediate signals around here somewhere. So I'll just put in a couple of ups, a couple of downs. So I'm thinking that these so I need to change this actually, don't I? So let's this service here, right? No, manage the line. Yeah, okay, let's fix this first. So these one, after going King's Cross, Welwyn Garden City, I'll have it calling these 2 signals here. So that one there, and then Stevenage, Peterborough, Stevenage, Welwyn Garden City, you want to be on that signal there, like so. And then this one, King's Cross, I will have you on that one. Stevenage, Peterborough, Stevenage. You should be able to do that, even with those platform allocations, because we've got those. Oh, I haven't done the switches. That helps, doesn't it? So we've got these switches here, like so, and then another one. So everyone's happy again. And then we'll just go in with some signals on here. So obviously we'll have a down, down, and then this one here, we'll have our ups. I think the same on this, we'll have our up signals. No, we'll have our, yeah, up signals. They're like so. Let's take a look at what this is doing. That's calling, is this calling at Stevenage? It is. Obviously I'll have to put some more trains on, obviously a little bit more signalling as well, but we've got all our services calling. Yeah, so there we are, we've got our Stevenage service built. I think what I'll do is I'll just leave you on board the GNER service as it comes into Stevenage, but I'm going to leave it there for today and say until next time, bye bye.